We are joined by Mr. D.M. Banerjee, Emeritus Scientist at the Indian National Science Academy. What do you think are the causes behind the shrinkage in Joshimath?
Seeing the photographs and having seen the area visually long time ago when I was working in that area as a geologist, then I would say this whole town is located on a very, very unstable plain.
Okay.
The whole area is actually situated on a uh, material which has come down from the mountain about 6 to 7,000 years ago, in the form of a major landslide, and must have been in those days whatever must have been there, whatever they must have all been destroyed. Now gradually this material got stabilized, and over the years people started thinking that this is a stable place, there is nothing is happening, so people started living there. But geologically, people knew, and as early as 1938 or 39, when Professor Heim and Professor Ganser, they traveled and they made study in the Himalayas. In their report, they have given very clearly that this whole section of this area is unstable and it should not be subjected to major construction, major division. As early as 1938, the volume is available. But
Okay.
nobody bothered. They thought that it is a scientific body and scientific observation. Nothing, nobody to bother. Gradually, the villages started growing.
Mm.
Now, this material, rubble material, which has come down from the mountain, has got small rivulets. Mount, as you go up in the mountain, then you see small rivulets coming in, and they don't move in the way the water move in the surf on the plains. There is no such like a water table, but there is a table which is actually going through the rocks and fragments, and through that the water percolates. So wherever there is a small fissure, it comes out in the form of a spring. That is what we get in the Himalayas. A lot of springs are there. So this water, when it's coming through the mountain range and through the rocks, it starts eroding the material. The word erosion means it is destroying, removing the minerals and making them soft, and therefore they become weaker and weaker and gradually. So over the years, hundreds of years, it has been going on, and while the basis being gradually being weakened, the people are loading it from up top by constructing one house of the other, then first one floor, then second floor, then third floor, and then one hotel, and then there is other thing. All those things came up over the years in the name of development. The aim of any village or any place is to become a urban city. So Joshimath, which was a small hamlet, a small village, wanted to join the category of a city, and it became um, obviously there were a lot of construction, lot of roads, and lots of buildings, and offices moved into that places. So it became a help, and it was predicted long ago. Tens of years ago, the Geological Survey of India carried out investigation in it, and that report is available that this area is unstable and one should take care of it. Nobody bothered to look into that because the problem with the government is that all these work is actually being carried out by the engineers. It is not the geologists don't do construction work. So these engineers just don't bother about the geological. They, and when they were a student at the engineering college, and they are supposed to read one semester for a geology, they always thought it is a useless course, never attended it. So they have no idea of what the importance of geology, and they just do. Similarly, the district administration, if the district magistrate happened to be a very enlightened one or educated or very not educated, of course he will be, but mm, he's conscious of the scientific important, then something will happen. Otherwise, the district magistrate with the history with the history as a subject, or maybe a political science, he has got no idea about what the science is. So those people don't bother about it. They just don't care that what geologists are saying it. So that is the reason what has happened. This is the one main reason. The second reason is that the tunnel which they are going or holding, that in tunnel there is a machine, that tunnel boring machine, that got stuck up in 2021 and is still there. And in the process, it has actually hit a aquifer under the water. And an enormous amount of water has come out of it. And that water is percolating through the mountains. This is one of the. The third and most important thing, which is the most common one, is a heavy construction of roads, including this widening of road for Char Dham Yatra. The enormous road construction. A single track road has been converted into 4-lane road, and enormous amount of material is being blasted. The blasting is going on, and the muck is also thrown into the river, and the river channel becomes narrower, and and starts it. There will be many more problems. Very soon you will be seeing that there will be flash floods and other things in Himalayas in the whole region where this Char Dham Yatra is taking place and road construction is going on. The material is being thrown into the river, and naturally the river channel becoming narrow and narrow. So disaster had to happen. It happened now. It would have happened yesterday. It would have happened 10 days ago, or it would have happened 1 month afterward. But this is going to happen, and the whole area is going to be affected. It's not only Joshimath, upstream also, every place, in the downstream also, including Tehri, including anything on downstream, or they will all be affected. So these are the 3 or 4 reasons which you take.
As you said, many years back, it was predicted that this is an unstable region. And together, coupled with that, this construction activity, which must have been banned, where do you think that the government should have taken steps so that this situation can be averted?
It is always expected that government should take care of it, even if they don't take care of the from the advisory from the academic institution. They should have actually taken advisory of the Geological Survey of India, which is a central body and is supposed to look after the geological aspect of everywhere. So Geological Survey of India has already a report available to in which they have said this is unstable. But the civic authorities, the town authorities, and the government in general, what you call public works department, the mountain road construction department, and all, they just did not bother to look into that. They have not even read a single line out of that. So what can you do? I mean, if there is no coordination between the input coming from a body which is competent to do it, and then the people who are implementing it are not making use of it. So this is a very common thing in the government. This is happening in almost every department. It's not only in this case. It is happening in almost, if you see go and so 3 in government, everywhere it is like this. Road construction in the cities, when you see the cities, they don't take care of the electrical poles which are there. They will first make this road, and the electrical pole will be removed again, and then electrical pole will be there, and then road will be again made. So these are the bad coordination. That is what we call it. The government departments are not competent in most of these things. Privatization things are coming up only because of such type of attitude.
Okay, now Joshimath has been declared as a disaster-prone zone after this incident.
Yes.
So
Yes.
do you think that the government should have recognized this zone as a disaster-prone zone many years back?
Many years back. They should have. They should not have allowed the construction of all these hotels which are there. Big hotels are 4 stories houses. It's a huge cluster of houses they're constructing, even right up to the river bank. Their construction taking the river bank was the most vulnerable area. They should not have. And at the same time, this big road should not have been constructed. It's very important, because big roads are not for the for the mountain region. You go to Alps, you go to Andes. I have seen all those places. Mountain roads in the mountain range remains only a small two-track road, never made 4-lane, never. So this is something which should have been taken care of it before. Problem is that if there is a political decision, then I don't think that even the administration or the can have any say into that. But administration should come up and should have said that, look, the political decision is wrong, and therefore we should not do it. But in India, people don't have the courage to do it.
You just mentioned that not only Joshimath, there are many regions which are prone to this kind of situation.
The whole region, you can go upstream, right up to the Badrinath. Either this side is the Chamoli, the downstream side you have the Devaprayag. Devaprayag is very extremely vulnerable, where the two rivers are coming and joining in, where the Alaknanda and Bhagirathi both are meeting. It's very highly vulnerable. Down below, even right up to Rishikesh. Right up to Rishikesh, the whole thing is vulnerable.
Okay, so
This is not. This is the one region. This is only in the Himalaya, in the what we call Garhwal Himalaya. This is Garhwal. But the same situation is there in the Shimla Himalaya. The same thing happened in the Kumaon Himalaya. All this region, this whole region is vulnerable.
so thank you, DM Banerjee, for joining us. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.